So companies also warn shareholders, but not us. What you're seeing here is another smokestack cell antenna facility with a playground, and this is actually a school. The companies warn their shareholders. They say in their annual reports and their 10K reports that the financial health of the company could be impacted by changes related to RF radiation. So I'll quote Crown Castle. If radio frequency emissions from wireless handsets or equipment on our communications infrastructure are demonstrated to cause negative health effects, potential future claims could adversely affect our operations, costs, or revenues. We currently do not maintain any significant insurance with respect to these matters. They don't have insurance because the insurance companies consider RF radiation high risk.
As the fight continues to prevent a new 5G cell phone tower from becoming operational as it stands feet away from this Wyandotte school, a professor from Wayne State University is speaking out.
Whoever planned to put this cellular tower so close to the students and the teachers is wrong.
Professor John Liu has a background in electrical and computer engineering.
Yeah, I invented the modem for DirecTV. Back then we called it Spaceway. That was the project we started at Hughes Electronics in 1998.
The professor makes it clear this type of technology does not belong that close to the human body.
This is pure evil. Yeah, it just read my lips. This is pure evil. Each sector is transmitting 40 watts continuously. They're facing high risk of brain tumor.
But despite what this academics research provides, the school district has allowed the tower on the grounds of George Washington Elementary School. The tower is also near a playground. The school district entered into an agreement with T-Mobile and will get paid monthly, but parents say they want it removed before it becomes operational.
We as a school,
no, not we as a school, we as parents. A recent informational meeting was cut short by the district after parents expressed frustration.
This is a Swiss Re Institute report called Sonar, New and Emerging Risk Insights, and they talk about 5G as an off-the-leash risk. It's labeled as high impact because the impacts can have a long latency, much like asbestos, which many insurance authorities have compared wireless radiation to. There was a Lloyd's of London report in 2010 that said the danger with EMF is that, like asbestos, the exposure insurers face is underestimated and could grow exponentially and be with us for many years. And that image is from a business insurance white paper. Insurance companies exclude damage from EMFs as industry standard in their general policies. This is clips from Genesis Insurance, a major provider of liability coverage for educational institutions, K through 12, universities, school boards. And they state that their insurance does not apply to RF radiation or bodily injury from or directly or indirectly from electromagnetic radiation. Even the wireless industry itself classifies RF radiation as a form of pollution. This is Verizon's Total Mobile Protection Plan. They define pollutants to include any solid, liquid, gas, or thermal irritant or contaminant, including, they list a couple, and they have artificially produced electric fields, magnetic fields, electromagnetic fields, and all artificially produced ionizing and non-ionizing radiation. Similar language appears in the cell phone protection plans from AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, and T-Mobile. So companies have been informed in published papers to mitigate their liability and risk by having distances between the towers and people. In 2020, this article by a professor from Michigan Technological University published a review on the science and concluded that there was adequate medical and scientific evidence to warrant long-term liability concerns for companies deploying cell phone towers. And that in order to protect the cell phone tower firms, it concludes that you can restrict the cell antennas from being close to schools and homes.
Did you know the insurance industry will not underwrite companies building out the 5G infrastructure? 5G is deemed as an emerging risk, as the biological effects of EMF in general and 5G in particular are still being debated. Potential claims for health impairments may come with a long latency. That's from Sonar's 2019 Swiss Re Zurich, Switzerland Reinsurance Company report. Final thing I'll mention before I go, 10K disclosure. Crown Castle International out of Houston, Texas is a publicly shared company. They have a 10K disclosure they have to give to shareholders. In that 10K disclosure, it reads, if frequency emissions from wireless handsets or equipment on our communications infrastructure are demonstrated to cause negative health effects, potential future claims could adversely affect our operations, costs, or revenues. We currently do not maintain any significant insurance with respect to these matters. They have to let their shareholders know. I thank you for your time, and I encourage you, please, to take into consideration that right now in the United States, there are 418,000 cell towers. Over the next 6 years, that will go up another 800,000, a 300% increase. This is only just beginning.
And we have a bunch of fact sheets, but on the issue of insurance, risk, and liability, we have the different companies. I keep that updated. We have the 2024 right now statements, and you can go online at EH Sciences to download that. Everything is hyperlinked on our website. We also have pages on cell towers showing the RF limits and fact sheets that have what other countries are doing. So, for example, there are many countries that restrict cell towers near schools: Russia, Turkey, Greece, Bangladesh, Israel, Chile, regions in Australia.